Welcome back to topic 2.6 in AP Daily. We're going to continue talking about strings in this video, but we're going to zoom in a little bit closer and think about concatenation with our string objects and how we can also add primitive values to interject some other data with our string for specific outputs. Here are the learning objectives, same one as in the previous lesson. We're still working off of var 1e about the string class and creating objects and calling string methods, but we're using two different essential knowledge statements this time. We're going to be thinking about using the plus and plus equal operator, and also how we can grab primitive values and also include those in a concatenation with our string data. So concatenation might be a new word to you. If you've done a lot of Excel, you might have noticed a lot of Excel. You might have used equal concat in Excel to do some kind of like adding together words in different parts of your Excel sheet. Concatenation is a word that means to join or to join data. And what we're going to be doing with our string objects is using the plus operator, which you've already been using in units 1 and 2 to add math, like add numbers like you might in a math class, but we're going to be using it to kind of add string literal objects here. And then we're introducing a new operator called plus equal. And I want to kind of encourage you to adopt the phrasing as you think about coding, and this would be applicable to really throughout the whole course. When you see the equal sign, we want to say the word becomes instead of equal. All of your life in math class, you've used, the word equal to mean total or sum, but in our world in computer science, we really want to think about the fact that the equal sign for us represents the word becomes, because it might be temporary. Like right now we might have something become a particular defined value, and later in our code we may redefine it and it becomes something else. So when you look at the plus sign in this lesson, I want you to think about the word join, and when you look at plus equal, I would like for you to think about it as plus becomes, because it's really going to be redefining our variable. So let's look at some examples. So here are our same Jaden and Jessica, who you met in the last lesson, and their output lines. I've added a few more lines of code to them. I've given both of them an age, 17 and 16. You might be 17 and 16 in your actual life right now. And then I've actually written a couple of lines to give us a way to output a little more information about Jaden, and then we're going to do a couple things to output Jessica's name and her age. So I want to break this down for you. So what I've done on the line that says string Jaden is I've actually created a new string object or new string variable that calls Jaden's name 1 and concatenates it with his age that I defined as an int. And then I've called Jessica's name 2, but I'm redefining Jessica to not only be what name 2 originally was, but also to include that new primitive number 16 that I defined Jess' age as. So let's look at how this would be and what it would output. So those are my two new variables, int Jaden's age, int Jess' age. I've declared a new string variable that I'm calling Jaden, and I'm pulling his name from my previous name 1 variable. And then notice here what I'm doing with the concatenation. Java knows a lot of things, but what Java does not know is where we want space bars. So in this particular concatenation example, I want you to notice where I've shaded the green box or the gray box in between the quotes. The quotes are going to tell Java that I need another string literal, but in that string literal, what I really am wanting is a space bar. And I shaded that gray so that you would notice that it was there. It will not look gray on your screen when you're typing in code. And then for the second piece of my concatenation, I'm pulling Jaden's age by calling his variable Jade age. So the string named Jaden is composed of a concatenated program statement that's name 1 plus a space bar plus Jaden's age. Name2 is my previous name2 variable, which we know is Jessica Java, but I'm going to use my concatenation operator plus equal, and I'm calling her age, that other variable that I just made that is a primitive int 16. Now, what you probably are saying aloud, I hope, is what about the space bar? I can't grab the space bar in this example. When I use that operator, I don't have the capability to do what I did with Jaden. So you're going to notice in the output, when I have my two print out Jaden, print out name2, which I've redefined, the output looks quite different. Jessica's doesn't look as, appealing to the eye, but it has the same information. So now it's your turn. I would like for you to open your code that you started in string objects 2_6 and rename your class, adding a B to it, and you could call it 2, but I just thought that would look weird because it would look like a 62. So 2_6B, and save your new public class as B, and then add these concatenations to print out the age of yourself, add a variable with your age, add a variable for your friend's age, and create some output lines. You can also see that my third output line, when you pause the video, says it's a new concatenated string that calls your name and the other person's name, and that you are friends. And I've tried to include the spaces as gray slots so that it will help you. So practice concatenation with strings. This will be very helpful to you as you begin to use these with string objects and using the toString method to call outputs for your string objects. So our takeaways again are creating variables, creating string objects, using concatenation to produce some customized outputs, and interjecting primitive values along with our strings. Thank you for watching video 2 of the 2.6 topic.